rocket to prove that the Earth is flat.
What do I do if shit goes south? Could you leave a letter or something? What do you want me to do?
My team and myself is going to accomplish the greatest thing in the history of mankind. It's going to change the world. I believe in the geocentric flat Earth model. I'm not going to take anyone else's word for it. I'm going to build my own rocket right here, and I'm going to see with my own eyes what shape this world we live on.
Why should the general public trust you if they can't trust NASA or the government?
NASA receives over $50 million a day. Now, who's going to turn that water faucet off?
A lot of people got the idea that he's just some kind of a nut. He might just be crazy.
This is what's wrong with the world today. No one knows what's real.
Belief dictates behavior, right? People may be walking around in a false reality.
Let's go! Let's go!
You know, these things are not easy to do.
It's a bomb. It can spring a leak and it'll explode so fast, it'll tear you apart.
To do something like this, it takes everything, and it will take everything from you. Me saying I'm a self-taught rocket scientist is kind of a misnomer because I really don't believe in science.
He believes in science because I know he has force divided by mass equals acceleration. Whether he walks away from this is going to be based on science.
Let's go, Mike!
Mike, hang in there, buddy.
That's the trailer?
That is the trailer.
Wow.
Is this movie?
Yeah,
You're on.
Hey, that's not the best trailer either. That's like the first. Hey, look there. That is a dating site from New Zealand that's sponsoring me now, HUD, and I would prefer no one look that up. I'm just saying, okay? Now, one polo. Yeah, it isn't rocket science. Yeah, of course. Here's the perfect spokesman for dating. I've been single since, 1991. It's best that I live alone, okay? Me and my 4 cats. So, now, this is not the motorhome anymore because it was vandalized at the last launch site. It's still there. This is the semi that someone gave me. It was actually junked. And we put 2 batteries in it. I put fuel in it, stirred it up. So now it's the launch vehicle for the next rocket launch, which is February 22nd. Put that on your calendar right now. Coming up soon, yeah. It's going to be in Barstow. It's a secret location. And, hey, can we move this up here? Yeah, it's taken away from you, okay? I don't want to share the stage. Yeah, but they got to stay on Highway 247. We don't want anyone near Mad Mike, okay? I don't want to share the spotlight with anybody. Hey, look, I'm still back there. This is a flat also, okay? Okay, now, I've got to say this, okay? I wanted a drink earlier, and they would not take my EBT card. Okay? So I don't know what's going on with that. So anyway, July 22nd. So since I've been here last time, what have I done? I've been to the kitty litter probably 1,000 times. I've got 4 cats. That's the highlight of my life. 4 cats, yeah. 2 men, 2 boys, and 2 girls. And they sleep with me every night, so maybe that's why I'm still single. So since the last time I was here, the movie came out, the one you just saw the trailer to, Rocket Man. It's Mad Mike's mission to prove the world is flat. I know it's out there, but I can't disprove it. I know, and we're going to get into that, okay? People look at me like, man, you're a wacko. But basically, recently, it finished second place in a worldwide competition as the second top feature documentary of 2019. Yeah. And it's not just me saying that, it's Documentary Weekly out of England. Can we trust anybody in England? I don't know. But if you look it up, it got over 650,000 votes. And we were leading until the last day when Honeyland beat me out. Honeyland won the Sundance Film Festival, which it took 3 years to make. I heard $2 million, and I think they fixed the vote. I really do. Yeah. They won by 100,000 votes, and I think I was 11,000 ahead the morning of the last day. So yeah. But the one Sundance it's a great movie, Honeyland, but it's what beat me out. Since last time, we signed a deal with the Science Channel and Wow Productions. We're doing a show called Homemade Astronauts. Yeah, imagine that. That is not my first choice, okay? It's my second choice. I wanted to call it Mad Mike Special, but I didn't go for that. It's going to be on Science Channel, which is kind of strange because I do not believe in science. But on their defense, it's owned by the Discovery Network, okay? So, and it's supposed to start airing last August. It's not aired yet. So they're saying now maybe the first of summer. 3 episodes are done. They're waiting for the 4th episode for me to step inside my next rocket. February 22nd, that's going to be the 4th episode. So there's a couple other people that's trying to go to space. We're trying to go up to the edge of space. We have begun building the vessel to do that. It would be a Raccoon rocket, which is from the 1950s technology, maybe 40s, from NACA, before NASA was even formed. And we're going to take the balloon up around 130,000 feet, or whenever I'm tired of riding the balloon, I'm going to hit the button. It's going to drag me the rest of the way up 40-something miles at about 2 Gs, and we're going to fall at 2,000 miles an hour. We've already begun building the vehicle, the craft. Maybe it's a third of the way done. The big problem is I'm $2.5 million short. So that's the holdup. But you know what? I got faith in GoFundMe, okay? Yeah, GoFundMe, that's probably where it's going to come from. But we was hoping the TV show would be out by now, and that would raise the money through sponsorships and everything else. We think it would be the most watched event in mankind history. In mankind history. Just to see, I think that many people want to see me scream on the way down. Yeah. I'll be screaming like a 12-year-old girl. Basically, it will fall at 2,000 miles an hour. There's going to be 4 different parachutes on a balloon will bring me down until around 20,000 feet, and I guess I'll pull the final parachute. It's not my plan, it's someone else's plan. Originally, we're going to use a U-2 spacesuits. What we're going to use, there's plenty of them out there on eBay and whatever else, but I think $15,000. Hey, I'm sorry. My life evolves around eBay and Craigslist. Okay? I'm sorry. That's the way it is. You can't make this shit up, okay? This is the truth. And there's no reason for me to lie to anybody. I'm not dating anybody here yet. Okay? So, other than that, what do you say? I mean, you're trying to do something that is just beyond people's scope of even thinking about it's even possible for no money. But I think that's what this country and everything else is based upon. We're supposed to, and this is kind of how I live my life. I want to inspire the boy or girl that grows up to be the man or woman that changes the world. That's what I want. That's what I want. And maybe one day have 50 cats. You know, people think I'm crazy. You know, I live on 5 acres now. I probably need 50 acres for that. So since, but the TV show, they are waiting for this next launch. But since last time I was here, I've shown this around some. This is my new coloring book. It's the Mad Mike and Stunt Bunny coloring book. Stunt Bunny is a cartoon little character that I've developed. We have the prototype built. We're going to start building the real toys about a foot tall, and it's he's got a little Mad Mike suit on. He's going to follow me everywhere I go. And so basically, it's for sale now on several avenues on the internet and of course on my website. And shamelessly, it's madmikehughes.com. So if you want a coloring book, I brought. This is a picture of the last time I was coming down the rocket, March 24th of 2018. And this little remnant right here is not from a wild weekend in Las Vegas, okay? That is actually part of the parachute. Right there, it's part of the parachute. And of course, I can't afford new parachutes. These were all bought off airplane sites or Craigslist, as is for parachutes on the rocket right now. You know. So this is the thing coming down. It looks like CGI, doesn't it? It doesn't even look real. But believe me, if you see the documentary, which at one time was being downloaded 10,000 times a day on Amazon Prime, it was doing really well for a while. Of course, me, I've already sold my share for $7,000. So yeah, I screwed myself again. I'm sorry. I just got to tell the truth, okay? That's me. So here's a T-shirt. Is it upside down? Oh, okay. That's the Mad Mike Hughes T-shirt. We got black ones and white ones. And yeah, look there. Yeah, it's a real thing. These were designed in England by the guy who does a bunch of designs for the Formula One team. I don't remember his name, but that's who designed the thing. And oh, you're gonna like this. This is the poster for the movie Rocket Man, right here. Yeah, isn't that nice? Yeah. I did not design this, of course. This actually artwork came from England also, and then they added the rocket to it. But it's a real movie. It's on Amazon Prime. It's done real well, and people. I've had people email me from world. I don't want to say all around the world because I believe the world's flat. That's a worldwide. And I say this in court all the time. I don't understand, but I will comprehend. Okay, I comprehend. That's a trigger word. But I just can't disprove it. I'm just not doing that for the movie, or actually for the money. And for people that think, there's actually people in Flat Earth think that I'm making a lot of money from T-shirt sales and whatever else. I tell people, for all the merchandise I sell every month, I might could pay my cell phone bill. That's about it. And that's $75 a month through Verizon prepaid. I'm serious. I can only tell the truth. Okay. So basically, this is the DVD of the movie, and I'm pretty proud of it. There's some things I would have changed in the middle. I do like the start and the beginning, the start and the ending of the movie. What do you say? It was just an experience that, the thing is, you go through your whole life and you think, what can you do, to inspire people? And am I doing the right thing in life? But I look back, I thought, it's no secret my life was NASCAR. And, I did the Days of Thunder movie car, and I've got 2 cars in museums, and I worked countless amount of hours to the point where I wanted to kill myself twice. I was that tired. Christmas of '91, I was done. I was done. And you think, I could build another race car, but who cares? Who cares anymore? I thought the rocket thing really, it gave me the momentum and the motivation to move on. And my thought originally was to, and I said this last time, was to jump the Snake River Canyon. And of course, that got to be such a political thing with the state and the city and the county, and it got to be just criminal by everybody involved. It really did. And so I wound up going to some private property in Arizona, and then that happened, and ABC backed down on me. They were going to do a reality show, 3 launches, and buy the rights to the footage, and they did nothing. Now I'm going to tell. I say this to a lot of young people. I'm going to say this in crowd because there's some very intelligent people right here that's experienced a lot of things in life, especially Sid. I love you to death, Sid, okay? And that is, just because someone is in a position of power and authority doesn't mean they know jack shit. Okay? About 4 or 5 years ago, I talked to the head guy of Fox Broadcasting and the head of creative development in a conference phone call. I said, guys, I've already tested the propulsion system. It works. I'm going to have the rocket finished in 6 months. Let's go jump to Snake River Canyon for the biggest live pay-per-view deal in history. I need $300,000. There 2 later, said, Michael, we kind of thought this out. We just don't think it's not viable. Really? 3 years later, they was going to put $5 million. And they canceled that. A new president walked in and canceled the whole deal. And already spent, I think, $1 million in money to produce the thing. So just, you tell people, it's like people walk up to me and say, all you got to do is get a sponsor. Really? So all you got to do is get a sponsor, Now, if I try and go to space with $2.5 million, the balloon alone is $300,000, and we need a spare one. The helium, I think, is $150,000. Is there a cheaper way to do it? Probably. To lift me up to the 130,000 foot mark. But, you know, I kind of want to live through this thing. Okay? Yeah, there's other things I want to do with my life. So, you try to, I've talked to some sponsors, and of course the flat earth thing freaks out people, of course. I don't know why, but, let me bring this up while I'm thinking about this. My last launch, from what I understand, what I was told, NASA watched it live, SpaceX watched it live, the FAA watched it, and I think there's some JPL people here from Pasadena. I understand they were taking bets on what was going to kill me. Not that I was going to survive. The bet was, what's going to kill Mad Mike? Is it going to explode? Will his cats get in the way? Will anything, okay? Will Mad Mike cough up a fur ball? I don't know. I mean, everything was on the table. When I tell you, everything was on the table. And I lived through it. That was told by me someone that knew that for a fact, okay? It was like a football pool, what I understand. What's going to kill Mad Mike? So, and I was wondering the same thing that day. When you see me walking up the steps there, okay? I'm thinking, am I walking up to the gallows right now? I'm putting a noose around my neck. You know, I'm a pretty brave guy, but I'm not fearless. I'm not fearless. I don't like ladders. I don't. I do not like ladders. I don't like height, okay? In fact, that's probably why I don't date tall women either. I'm just telling you the way it is. I dated a 6-foot redhead once in Mooresville, North Carolina. I don't know. I'm in the same sense. So anyway, it comes back to the point where you want to motivate someone. You don't know who it is. You don't know if it's a person over here. You don't know if it's someone in India, Romania, Colombia, in Canada, in my time where I'm living at, in Apple Valley, Oklahoma City, where I was born at. You don't know where. But see, what makes this thing worthwhile is people walking up to you, which has happened to me twice tonight already. Mike, I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate your chance you're taking, and you're telling authority to go screw themselves. Okay? And that's a dangerous thing nowadays, folks. And for people that don't know what I'm doing, other things I'm doing in my life, I'm challenging the court system. Serious stuff, where when I go home at night, I drive by the driveway and make sure no one's there. Okay? Yeah. I have claimed the entity, people of the state of California. I'm trying to close every court in the state right now. I own that entity. I'm trying to get it where no one can use it. That shuts down every criminal and every traffic ticket in this state. So I'm doing a lot of different things, and I study language. And so I'm thinking, can I find that one guy or that one girl that can make the difference? Because I feel that this country is just going down. We're just doing this, guys, just like NASCAR is. It's just doing this, okay? And it's getting ready to crash land. And hopefully we can pull it down the dive before it does it. That's what I'm hoping to do. And if it's not me, the boy or girl or man or woman that I inspired, or the group of people that I inspired to do this. Because that's what it's all about, you know, really. And this is a strange thing about, I'll be 64 in what, maybe 2 weeks, something like that. So when I climb in the rocket next time, I'm a 64-year-old man, which is pretty old for daredevil. Even in my line of thing, that's pretty crazy. But this is what I also tell people. It takes a lifetime. And in fact, the people that's got the Bonneville patches on your jackets, this relates to what you're doing. It takes a lifetime of experience and knowledge to do these kind of things. A 20-year-old kid can't do it. I couldn't do it when I was 30. Couldn't do it. So it takes a lifetime of experience and knowledge to even attempt this stuff, especially when you have to build everything, because that's the only way I can do anything. I build everything. Because you start hiring this stuff out at $100 an hour, and then you have to explain it to people. When I have something made for my rocket that I can't make personally, I stand there and watch the machinist. I stand there and watch, make sure it's the thousandths that I want clearance, and this is where I want it, and this is how it is, and it's like that way there. Even when they're doing the decals of the rocket, I'm standing right there. So it's very hands-on, the whole thing. I mean, how do you tell someone to build a launch ramp on the back of a semi that's a 1964 International Emeryville that was supposed to be scrapped? You don't. You don't. I mean, it's just when I launched here on March 24th of 2018, that motorhome was bought off Craigslist for $1,500. And I said this last time, the goofy thing about the whole story is I had to make payments on it. I didn't have the money, you know? Yeah. The Social Security and EBT will only take you so far. Yeah, it is what it is. So, yeah, I decided to take it to 62, instead of waiting on 67. I took, a 35% cut, but, that's my choice. Being a daredevil, I thought I was playing the best odds. Let me see if we got some new shit in here I haven't talked about yet. No, that's about it. So we do have a book coming out from Canada. Canadians are crazy. You know that, don't you? They really are. They're different. They're different people up there. So they got publishers go to do my memoirs, whatever that means. What does memoir mean? So I guess that's all the stuff you tell your buddies when you're drinking or something like that. So that's going to be what the new book's about. But we are looking forward to the TV show. We think that's going to spring, I guess, the point where we'll raise the money to put me into space, the edge of space, I should say. I think and I believe with every fiber of my body and my heart that this world needs an event. It needs something that gels everybody together for 3 hours. And we think this will be the most watched event in any television history for 3 hours. I don't see why anything else would garner that many people. Some guy launched himself in something that's built in a garage with just a handful of people. And $2.5 million people that's in the space industry, that's nothing. That's lunch money for a month. So we think and we feel that we can make this happen, and it can happen this year. We're hoping by October. We've already get together a team. We've already contacted people that's going to scan the weather, that's going to do the balloon for us, to the person's going to be able to get a gentleman named Jerry Irvine, which maybe some of you have heard, probably one of the best hydrogen peroxide guys in this country. We're going to build the propulsion system for it. We have the tank already, the helium tank for it to force the fuel into the tank. We've already got the framework done. We've got the capsule, and we've got the spacesuit located. So we're hoping once the TV show gets kicked off, it's going to do this, and it inspires people again to think that we can do something great. And this is what, and that's the part I miss about the '60s. I was a young man in the mid '60s, but the people that's here can remember, we thought anything was possible. Anything. We had Woodstock. I know it's kind of funny, but I mean, there was 500,000 people there because they was believing in something. Okay? They thought it was going to bring 50,000 people. That's all they thought. And 3 days before, there's 100,000 people outside the gate. Okay? They thought, well, we may have something here. We was trying to go to the moon. We had incredible movies. We had the car culture. We had the hot rods. We had all the incredible movies. The arts was exploding, and we thought anything was possible. And I want to bring that back again. Well, we think that anything is possible, because when you think anything is possible, then you can do the impossible. And that's what I want. But we've got to a point where I believe that they don't want anyone to do anything like that unless it's controlled by the government, unless it's controlled by a certain agency or whatever. Then after there's all these billions of dollars to spend, then maybe it is. And then it's 5 years beyond budget, and when they're going to do it. If this can happen this year, which it can be, it can happen, I think it will generate the the point where we was at in the late 60s. Hopefully. Because I don't know what else will do it. I'm at a loss. I really am. I'm at a loss. I have people ask me, especially as I do radio interviews everywhere, and they ask, "Who did you look up to?" I said, "Well, I don't know. When I was a young man, I raced motorcycles, and I looked up a couple of guys. In fact, a good friend of mine now, Sammy Tanner, whom I went to Ascot Raceway, remembers that was a very famous guy there. He's 80 years old now. We speak almost every day, but I think someone named Kowalski. That's the only one I could think of. And for people that's not remember this, New Year's Day in 1971, they released a movie called Vanishing Point. Incredible movie. It's a cult movie in England, or excuse me, Europe before it came here actually. And Kowalski was an ex-motorcycle racer, an ex-car racer, and he was a driver. I was a limousine driver for years and years and years. That's what he was. He was a driver, okay, and he was just searching for something. And there's a term for that, where a man is searching for something, maybe just to validate his existence or to validate him moving forward in the future. And that's the only guy I can really relate to is Kowalski. And he never had a first name in this movie. It was just Kowalski. I've watched that movie 100 times. You know? And that is the basis for the, I think, that's why when you see someone that drives a white Challenger now, that's why. Because of Kowalski. So we think, if I can just do that and make that happen, I think I've done my job. And as I was told some people at my table that we ate dinner at earlier, you know, maybe that's what, when my time's over with, and I'm doing this at heaven's door, maybe that's the reason they open it up for me. Because I've done that one thing. I've inspired that one man or woman or boy or girl that's made the difference. That's what I'm hoping. You know? Who knows? The older I've got, and when you're a young man, you know, you go through all these phases, okay? You know, there's always another girl, there's always another car, there's always another race, there's whatever. But what I've learned is, man, the people and our relations to people is what's important. And how we relate to these people. That is what's really, truly important. And if you can take anyone that has a conversation with you, or they've seen a conversation with me through Tosh.0 or CBS Sunday Morning or whatever, and can take something from that to make their lives better or their family's lives better, maybe that's what it's all about. You know, that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. Anyway, any questions or whatever? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, who's building this now? I know you said it's not yourself, and to go that high, I want to make sure that I had a little science involved in it.
Oh, of course. Okay, the gentleman named Waldo Stakes is the gentleman that designed this, and he's got like, I think, 30-something records at Bonneville, some Guinness World Records, whatever. He's the guy that you see in the movie, Put Me in the Rocket, okay? And that's him. And that's his design. And he's been studying rockets for like 40 years. We do have some other people involved that's qualified for the jobs that we've chosen for.
Mike, how's the balloon going to work with the rocket? Is the rocket going to be under the balloon? And if so, how are you going to launch up if the balloon's on top of you? Or are you going to put the rocket on top of the balloon? How's that going to work?
Yeah, so basically the raccoon, no one's ever fired a man from a raccoon rocket. So basically the balloon will have a structure that will be holding the capsule with me in it, and it will start, the balloon will start lifting up, probably maybe with a crane, and once it starts going, then it'll just pick me up from there, that point, and it'll just start lifting up. And once it gets to a point where it's called equalization, where it will no longer rise, it will start flying sideways, that is when I hit the green button to go. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, guy. Hydrogen peroxide. No, I use water in the steam rocks. Yeah, because that's something I can afford right now. It is water. The problem is with superheated water, And this is the scary part. That power is already made. It's behind you. I've got a 450-degree bomb at 350 psi behind me. And all it wants is one pinhole. And that's all it's going to take. That's all it takes. Because in June 28th of 2014, I'm within an hour and a half of jumping in the rocket in Winkleman, Arizona to do a pay-per-view. We have satellite TV there and the whole bit. And something happens with the rocket. It launches itself. It launched itself. It picked up a guy 20 foot and dropped him on the ground. Compound fractures of both ankles. It blew me to the ground. And I thought it blew the right side of my face off when I was watching it leave the ramp. It went 3,100 feet, still dragging the heating system. It wasn't even up to pressure yet. It broke 8 bolts and 2 chains. This is no joke. It is no joke. But no, it'll be hydrogen peroxide. And the reason for that, it's a colder burning rocket, 1,300 degrees versus a solid rocket, 7,000 degrees? Because I'm going to be underneath it, so I can probably take the 1,300 degree heat for a while. Hey, man, I've been divorced twice, okay? I can take some heat. It's the groupies. I mean, the groupies, and then my groupies started dating her groupies and got ugly, okay? I'm sorry. That's the truth. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So I have a psychological question. So you said a couple times that you're trying to inspire people.
Oh, no.
The girl or the boy that's going to change the
Yeah.
world. But are you trying to inspire them to do the impossible, which is what you're doing with this rocket stuff?
Okay.
It relies on funding from traditional sources. So the minute you add the flat Earth, how do you think about how that? Do you ever think about decoupling that so that it's more you become the ability to inspire? Are you trying to inspire to question authority, or are you trying to inspire to do the impossible, which is launch yourself in a rocket?
All the above. All the above. Once I became attached with flat Earth, it will never leave me, okay? It just never leave me. It's kind of like a bad girlfriend. Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's with me for the rest of my life, whether I want to or not. Yeah, go ahead.
I love your reference to the 60s.
Yeah.
Mainly the fact that anything could have been possible.
Yes.
Still is.
Yeah.
And also, you mentioned Bonneville, and I
Yeah.
immediately think of Craig Breedlove,
Yeah.
Mickey Thompson, building cars in their own driveways.
Yes.
So as fast as they can on land.
Yeah, very much so.
The person that inspires me is Andrew Green, the Englishman that went he broke the sound barrier on land. He's attempting to do 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, we're familiar with that project. In fact, my friend Waldo's the one told them to reverse the motors on that car.
Okay.
They had them backwards. The ones on top, they had it backwards, yeah. Waldo's a brilliant guy. Of course, they'll never admit that. Something about land speed. It's kind of a pretty solemn thing, but I've got to say this. And I really want to dedicate tonight to Jesse Combs. I never knew Jesse, but as we all know, it's a very small world. Very small, flat world. Jessie watched this movie 2 weeks before she died, and she loved the thing. Now, another strange thing is she went to high school with Toby Brousseau, who's a producer of my movie. That's how small this world is. Yeah, and she loved the thing, and of course she got killed, in the North American Eagle. When you get to a point where it's like I'm going to try to go for the boat world speed record. I've already built the boat. It's in my backyard, and I don't have right now. I'm not going to mess with it until after this next rocket launch. But the boat is built. It's steam powered. We're going to try to do 400 miles an hour in the water in 5 seconds. Steam. Yeah, it's built. It's in my backyard. I did everything. When something, has anyone ever seen the water speed boats? When someone's over 300 miles an hour, and all it does this, and it grabs the sponsor, and it's over with, okay? It's over with. Lee Taylor, that boat is in my backyard in a container, and it crashed at 350 miles an hour, and they couldn't find him for 10 days. Okay, that boat is a $2.5 million boat. So yeah, that's a pretty serious thing. So we got other things planned after this, but it always comes down to the financing, and that's the evil part of all this stuff. And then you got to find a corporation that morally that you want to be involved with, and of course HUD, the dating app in New Zealand, but they kind of like me. They kind of like my crazy stuff. So I said, okay, take the ride with me. So you want to get morally involved with someone that you want to be involved with, and then someone that will write the check. But see, everything in our life is relative to the perspective that we look at it. So if I looked into going to Indianapolis about 2 years ago, and it was going to cost $1.2 million to get me through the rookie test and try to make the race with a team that was associated with a major team. And I'm thinking, and if you qualify for the race, it's $300,000. And I thought, well, I know I didn't really like the odds of that. The Super Bowl ad is what? Someone just spent $6 million, and you'll see that this Sunday. I'm not going to watch the Super Bowl, but I watched this one ad. It's about a dog. That's all I'm going to say, okay? It's about a dog that survived cancer, okay? You'll see it. And they don't even, it's not even an ad for the company. It's an ad about the dog. It's very inspiring. So to find that company, you got to weed through a lot of other companies. So now then they think, well, wait a second, do I want to be involved with a 64-year-old daredevil? How about not a 22-year-old kid's got a bunch of tattoos on it? Looks like every other kid now right now. See what I mean? So you're fighting all this other stuff. So yeah, it's not an easy road. It's not supposed to be. Just like Tom Hanks said in that movie, A League of Your Own. It ain't easy because it's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be hard. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is what I said in Culver City in front of about 100 entrepreneurs. It's not what I'm going to do. It's what they're going to do. They're going to turn off everything. The electricity, the internet, the cell phones. Because now it's total chaos. Because now everyone realizes that everything really is a lie. Everything. And a lot of people do not want that security blanket yanked out from underneath their feet. See, it's like right now, if we had a tablecloth on this table right here with a bunch of dishes on it. Remember the old magicians? You're taking this, pull the tablecloth and the dishes are still there. See, that's people's belief system. And once you're invested in a belief and value system, it's tough to give it up. Because now, most of the time, people just want their beliefs validated instead of the truth. Whatever that's worth. Yeah. It's not just one thing. It's a lot of things that could go on for weeks. I just ask people to show me the curvature of the earth on the land, okay? Show me the 8 inches per mile squared. It's supposed to drop so much per mile, and keep showing me that, okay? And it's not. So if there's places on this earth that is flat, like the Bolivian Salt Flats, Kansas, Florida, Oklahoma, Amarillo, Texas, then if it's flat there, where's the rest of it round at? Now, what I discovered, thank you. What I discovered, I drove cross country from I-40, Barstow. Don't ask me why I started there. It's a hellhole. All the way across to Wilmington, North Carolina. It's a hellhole. And only thing I found, I took my limousine. You can see it on the internet. And it's 2,552 miles to Wilmington, North Carolina. And the only thing I found was elevation changes between sea level. And of course, I drove back because I had to. Yeah, took 6.5 days. Yeah, so I just don't think it's there. Now, scientifically, a gyroscope, which I look at this, if it's a planet around it, it's a gyroscope. It's at a 23-degree angle, 23.4, which leads you 666. Basically, no gyroscope rotates at an angle. It will either straighten up or it falls down. It will never stay at that angle. Now, there's not a picture of this planet at a 23-degree angle, 23.4. There's not. Now you got people saying, well, it's a little chubby around the middle. So now some people think it's 40 miles, 30 to 40 miles thicker just below the equator than it is at the equator because of spinning. So you think, well, wait a second. Then that tells me that there can't be any land there. It would just be water. It's just like a tennis ball spinning. You know how a tennis ball spins with water on it? I don't know. I look for the simple explanation. It's like say like your best buddy came back the next morning and your girlfriend's with him, okay? Hey, what's going on? And they give you a 30-minute excuse. You know? Hey, land the plane, man. You know? Spare me the labor, show me the baby. So I always look for the simplest explanation in everything. Okay? Because that's usually the truth. And usually when these weird things happen, the first thing that comes out is the truth. And then they'll start spinning the story. Guys, do I know it's flat around? I don't know. But to re-answer your question, I have no agenda. I just want the raw truth about everything. I don't care if it's about Vietnam, the Civil War, the thing with the Ukraine, with Joe Biden, with Obama's birth certificate. I just want the raw truth, okay? I don't want any BS. So that's what I seek. I seek the raw truth, which is maybe why I like animals, okay? Because they have no agenda. Where most people do. Yeah, go ahead. This guy's looking at me like, man, what a... No, I get it. Hey, I get it, okay? It's hard. It's tough to get your arms around that. But you got to realize, I researched this for 5 months, and I'm no dummy. I built a rocket, okay?
I'm 64, and I've researched it my entire life. I'm a space scientist. But let's just leave that behind.
I know.
Your girlfriend here
Yeah.
taking a couple pictures of a few planets out there. They all look round.
Yeah.
I invite you, sir, to come down to where I live in Palos Verdes, just 20 miles south of here, and I will prove to you that the Earth is round, because Catalina is out there, and the isthmus is only 30 feet up. And when you're on top of the Palos Verdes hill, you see the whole island, including that isthmus. You drive down to sea level, it's 2 islands. You cannot see the isthmus, because the isthmus is below the curvature of the horizon. There is no other explanation for that besides the fact that the Earth is curved.
Okay.
You're saying you want to see truth, you want to see something simple. Come on down and give my address any weekend, anytime you want. And you will take pictures. You don't have to go up in space to see that.
Well, to me, I want to cause a tipping point. That's what I want. This world needs a tipping point where people go, wait, they see the same thing at the same time, and they draw their own conclusions. I don't care if it was 9/11. I don't care if it's JFK or whatever. Okay? You draw, and so if people are following me on this 3-hour, well, actually 2.5-hour trip all the way up there and back, and they're talking to me for like the first 30 miles, and they see what I see, maybe that's a tipping point. If it's up there and it's round, dude, I have no agenda, man. I just want the raw truth. That's all I want.
So are you going to have like GoPro cameras in there so that they can be in there with you watching?
Oh, of course. Yeah, why not? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's the whole reason to do all this, where people can see and experience what I'm experiencing at the same time, in real time. Okay? Now, if the world's round, hey, man, take the Hubble, turn it around, and put a 24/7 camera on the Earth. Watch it spin, watch it rotate, whatever it's going to do. Yeah, okay, this is my theory on satellites. You're going to love this, okay? Okay. Even Werner von Braun, who was a Nazi, okay, which I'm not holding that against him. If I was in Germany, I guess that'd be okay at that time, you know. But basically, Werner von Braun originally thought it'd take like 3 ships or 3 containers the size of the Empire State Building to even get to the moon. And there's a 1955. You seen the 1955 video? Is that unbelievable? That pinnacle thing, and people are doing this, and I'm going, man, that's Elon Musk stuff. Okay, I mean, I don't know what that guy takes and what spouts out of his mouth, but he lives in a different world every day. But why does Warner von Braun on his gravestone, and you can look this up, was it Psalms 9:1, where it describes the firmament of the earth? Why would that be on Warner von Braun's grave marker? It doesn't even make sense. You know, the earth is a firmament. Now, MIT has just recently discovered there's some kind of plasma shield 7,200 miles up. They discovered that a few months ago. Is that the firmament? I don't know. I think honestly, the Van Allen radiation belts is the firmament of the earth. That's in the Bible. Now, to get back to the satellites, my theory is, and even this why von Braun was brought up, and even Bill Cooper, who this government killed in his front yard back in 2001, at three months after 9/11. They killed the guy, Bill Cooper. They killed him in his front yard. He predicted 9/11 3 months before. If you look, he was an incredible man. Anyway, basically, I believe the satellites are not satellites. They are photo imaging equipment. So when they do the fake alien invasion, which is what they're going to do, that's the final card with the Illuminati and all these elites. And plus this fake virus. This is another scary thing, this virus thing. Because now they want to do the global vaccine, okay? Basically, they will have photo imaging equipment, and that's what is going to do the hologram from the sky with the fake alien invasion. That's my theory, whatever that's worth. I know it's out there, but, so am I.
So, Mike, I've been asked to use a microphone for the rest of our questions, so I'll ask you one, and that is, I know you said you have another engineer working on the hydrogen peroxide, but can you tell us a little more about that? Because I know a lot of different people have used it. It worked great to do a Luftwaffe interceptor that only burned up and crashed like 10% of the time. And it works great in Navy torpedoes, but it blew up the Russian submarine. Any case, are you using the super high test pure stuff that gives lots and lots of power but is ultra dangerous? Or are you using like drugstore grade hydrogen peroxide?
No, that's only 3%. Like the stuff you want to color here is like 3%. No, in fact, that's another thing now. Is getting the pure hydrogen peroxide is another story. The 98 or 99%, what is it, $7,500 a gallon now, something like that, if you can find it. I think there's someone in Mexico doing it. But Jerry, yeah, I know.
Craigslist.
Yeah, Craigslist, yeah. You know, I would push Amazon, but I just don't like Jeff Bezos. The guy, he's kind of like Elon Musk. He just creeps me out. He really. Have you heard the story that he invented Amazon cross-country trip with his wife, and that's when he drew up the plans for Amazon? No. Anybody else heard that story? Okay. Maybe I dreamed that up. We live in a world where, and I said this during dinner time, when we are growing up and you're going to grade school, and they tell us, follow the person in front of you, don't ask questions, use a number 2 pencil, raise your hands to go to the bathroom. Oh, hey, Miss Howard, I need a drink of water, okay? And this is how they prepare us for the rest of our lives. And for God's sakes, don't ever question authority, okay? Don't question the principal, your teacher, They know what's right. And the older I've got, it's just, I just can't buy into that stuff anymore. And I haven't for a long time. It's NASA, yeah. It's probably JPL. It says, yeah, they're starting the next pool again for February 22nd.
Jeff Bezos, he's got an offer for you.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos. Oh, my God. I do know someone. Now, does anyone here really believe that Elon Musk, who does Ambien and smokes a lot of pot, do you believe, the Ambien thing? That's scary, isn't it? See, I didn't know about that till I did Tosh.0. Has anybody seen me on Tosh.0? It's the biggest show in 10 years, okay? And Daniel Tosh is hilarious. I thought I was going to have an aneurysm around him. At the end of her skit, we're behind the studio, and he's rented a, you dig a hole, whatever, because he said, Michael, proving the earth is flat is not going up, it's going down. Okay. So we start drilling a hole back there. He says, I borrowed this. I traded Elon Musk some Ambien for this. Yeah, it's hilarious as hell. It's a true story. I didn't know what Ambien was until then. I did some research. I I don't want to try that. So supposedly Michael Jackson did that, right? Was doing the Ambien. Michael Jackson was doing the Ambien also. Yeah. Really? Where did you get that at? Oh, okay. Okay. I don't want to know. A friend of mine wants to know. Yeah. It's kind of like when you call the doctor, hey, doctor, a friend of mine's got this rash and, yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah, Elon Musk. Anyway, at G&J Aircraft is one of my sponsors in Ontario. They have a picture of the Tesla. Remember the Tesla they put up? And wherever it's at Saturn. I don't know where it's going. Does anyone here believe that thing is going out there somewhere in space? Really? You believe it? That there's a Tesla Roadster convertible, okay, with the factory paint, the factory interior, with the DVD still going, of Starman. Yeah. But I know for a fact it's got stainless steel brake lines on it, okay? My friends built it at G&J in Ontario, okay? They got a picture of it in there. Yeah, the stainless steel brake lines. But the tires didn't explode at 130,000 feet. I don't know. I think that was a test to see what people would actually believe, okay? Because I believe they're going to do the fake Mars landing. Yeah. Yeah. And I do know someone that used to work at SpaceX. He's a good friend of mine. His name is Michael. I will not pronounce his last name because I don't want anybody looking him up. He has worked for Richard Branson also, and he told me that they're. I said, "What's this thing with going to Mars?" He said, "Michael, I've talked to Elon Musk once. He's having 10 conversations at the same time he's talking to you." So, whatever that's worth. Oh, hey, I'm sorry, guy.
So, question. Let's say hypothetically, Earth is flat for 10 seconds. Let's just believe that. All right?
Really, I get it, man. It's bizarre.
So let's go to the highest point of the Earth, which is Mount Everest in India, and we are in LA, which is 13,000 miles away. So if we set a rocket flat on Mount Everest and let it go, do you think it will come to LA?
I had no idea.
Because
I didn't
Earth
design
is
the
flat,
rocket.
right?
I have no idea. I
Earth
never
is
thought
flat,
about that.
And we are on the highest peak of the world. So it should.
Okay. My buddy Waldo is building a car with an X15 motor. It's in my front yard. If we stood it up, it'd probably hit L.A. Okay? I don't know. Yeah.
Mike,
An X15 motor is in the back of a car. It's 53 foot long in my front yard.
Tell us more about that and the boat. And by the way, the flat Earth is interesting, but I like the way you are just owning it. You said it's always going to be with you. So you're Dr. Phil owning it.
I don't like Dr. Phil. He just, anytime for a lot of reasons, okay? For a lot of reasons.
Okay, well, can you tell us more about rocket motors and X-15 motors and the boat?
Okay, the boat, basically, I thought about doing land speed, the car, and I thought, well, I don't know if I could ever afford the suspension, the tires, and making those. I said, I'm just going to do the boat, and I'll make the sponsons, and I'll do this design, and someone else gave me an idea, and I did that, and it's just sitting in my backyard. But I'm probably going to take it to Lake Havasu. They got a place for me to do it, like a quarter-mile run and a 3/4 mile to shut down. I only need, I don't know, probably half that.
Parachutes?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what kind. I have no idea. It'll probably come from White Safety Equipment in Oklahoma. I've already spoke to them about it. There'll be air assist. I've got 2 air assist parachutes on my rocket right now. I got one. No, that's where they put 175 psi to it. It pushes the parachutes out through a canister. That's what the drag cars use now. And I've got 2 of those. That's my backup for my rocket. I've got a 1,200-pound used one I bought. Where did I buy that? I think North Carolina. Anyway, it's for a 1,200-pounder, and I've got it mounted. And I remote mounted the rocket that launches the parachute down to the canister. And then the second will be the air assist, and the third backup would be 900-pound rocket assist. That's below the rocket nozzle.
Are you hydroplaning on it? Is that,
oh, you mean on the boat?
yeah, on the boat.
I had no idea.
Out of the water? You don't know? Okay.
No idea.
Okay.
No. it's got 4 areas about 6 inches by 6 inches that's going to ride on. And I'm the first one to build a 4-sponson boat as far as I know. I never built a boat before. So I thought I'd build the world's fastest one. But my idea is, it's like everything in life. It's like, it goes back to that bad girlfriend. You expose yourself to the danger as little as possible. Okay? So my idea, this guy's going, wow. Okay, so anybody that's been killed in this boat, and I think over 50% since 1940 have died. I mean, decapitated, they can't find them for dinner. It's ugly, okay? One guy died on the operating table because he couldn't find all of his organs. I mean, it's an ugly thing. So basically, I'm thinking you expose yourself to the danger as little as possible. So if I can hit 400 miles an hour in 5 seconds, then it's over with, okay? Then it slows down there. But if you're in a 5-mile stretch and your boat's starting to do this, you're at 100, 200, 300, and all of a sudden it's doing this and it's over with. So now you've exposed yourself to danger for a minute and a half instead of a few seconds. I will give a woman the best 30 seconds of her life. Okay. I said that once in a stand-up comedy thing. Okay, I had to say it again. So that's my feelings about that. Okay, you expose yourself to the danger as little as possible, and that's where these guys get killed in these boats. If you just look this stuff up, man, it is absolutely brutal. These things will start wobbling, and all of a sudden a sponson catch, and it does this. This guy's shaking it. Oh yeah, it's scary, isn't it? It's all over with. Because what is it? Water is I guess it's more solid than concrete, isn't it? Yeah, at those speeds. Now think about that for a second. The water is more solid. See, another guy shaking it, so he knows it is. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do later on this year, I guess. I've talked to Lake Havasu. They do have an area. They haven't come up with any money yet. So that's the latest on that. So what's any other questions? I don't think you're going to ask me about dating. I don't think that's a good thing. It's really, I got to say this as a disclaimer, which is really too late right now. It's really never a good idea to give me a live microphone. I warned Tosh, I warned Jimmy Kimmel live that night, but, what do you do? I warned him, what do you do? Okay? So it's like you got a girl and she's got a good-looking sister. I don't know. What do you do?
So before I hand over the mic, can you tell us a little more about Tosh? I don't know if the audience has seen Tosh 2.0, but this man looks like a Mormon missionary and curses like a sailor. But he's the funniest. What was he like off camera? Tell us.
The guy is he's a great man. He's very funny. I'm serious. I thought I was going to have an aneurysm twice. I was laughing so hard. He does stand up in Vegas, but first of all, I walked up to the set, and everyone likes that working there, so that's always a good sign. No one's doing this bullshit you know what I mean? Everyone likes Daniel. Most of the people's been there for 10 years, so that's always a good sign. If you got people coming and going, that's never a good sign, no matter where it is or what you're doing, and everyone knows that. I mean, people's coming and going, there's a reason they are. Everyone was there. Even the buffet in the morning was good. That's my favorite part. They picked me up in the morning. I had my own little assistant for 4 hours. They paid me they paid me like a week later. And it's a good thing. And it was the biggest show I understand in 10 years. But yeah, Daniel Tosh is an A1 guy. But you show up there, he's wearing gold tennis shoes and a pink sweatshirt. Yeah, I go, Daniel, really? Really? So basically, they only scripted me 3 lines in the whole skit. It was like I think an 8-minute skit, and because I said I would not be scripted. I refused to. When I signed my TV deal, I was in Hollywood Boulevard on Cherokee, the cross street, in a nice 3-story building there that they own, and there's 12 people around the table, and there's 3 Emmys sitting on the wall about 10 foot from me. I go, you know what? I'm not going to be scripted. I'll say what I want to do. And I'll do what I want to do, and if you don't like that, I'm walking right now. Because they don't have a program without me anyway. So, okay, Michael, you're the boss. Okay, now we understand that. That was the conversation. I will not be scripted. So that's what's wrong with NASCAR. That's what's wrong with everything else now. You get people afraid of what they're going to say because they may lose their corporate sponsor. M&M's threatened to leave Kyle Busch and Joe Gibbs several years ago or something that Kyle said. Okay, they threatened to pull the sponsorship. So, which is one reason I don't follow NASCAR anymore. Once they started naming racetracks After corporations, I was done. Okay? Because now you're beholden to the corporation. And for people that don't know, 2021 is going to be the nail in the coffin for NASCAR. The cars are going to go up to about $250,000 a piece. They're changing them all around again, and it's just going to get ridiculous. That was an inside story from a friend of mine in NASCAR. It's going to change drastic next year. Yeah. Oh, that car, that's been gone already. They're like generation 6 or 7th now. Generation 6 or something.
Are they all the same now underneath? The stickers are different?
Actually, the bodies now look more like a factory car. So going in the right direction, which, it got so stupid in the late 90s. When I built my Winston West car in 97 to 2000, I had my own Winston West team. I did 2 races in 2002. I built the car from scratch. The body could have been mounted 4 different ways. The roof could have been mounted 4 inches back for a short track, 4 inches forward for a super speedway. The downforce is different on the left front fender that's how stupid it was. That's how stupid you had to have, like when he died in an airplane crash, April 1st, 1993. Alan Kulwicki, he offered me a job once. When Alan Kulwicki won the Rookie of the Year in NASCAR in 1986, he was sponsored by Quincy Steakhouse for $400,000. He had 1 car and 2 motors. And the motors were going back and forth to Chicago with prototype. See? And then after that, you had to have like 15 cars. And they're all different. So that is what's happened to racing. Okay? Now drag racing, you're going 1,000 feet now instead of 1,200. Yeah. So, and Indy cars now, the tires are covered up. And Formula One's got that arrow thing on top now. What's called a halo. Yeah. Dude, people are supposed to be killed racing. Okay, I'm sorry. NASCAR needs to kill 1 a year at least to make it interesting. I'm just telling you. In the mid-1970s, there was a guy named James Hunt who died in 1993. He used to smoke 3 packs of cigarettes a day. And Barry Sheen, who died in 2003 in Australia, who was a Formula motorcycle racing champion. In 1976, they wrote a book called When Playboys Ruled the World. And that was James Hunt and Barry Sheen. And after James Hunt died, his son said, Formula One in the mid-70s was a lot more dangerous, a lot more interesting, and a lot sexier than what it is today. And back at that time, your chance of surviving Formula One, your chance of being killed was 1 in 7. That's the way it is, 1 in 7. So you cannot sanitize everything. And they've tried to make NASCAR and everything else like golf. And that was even said in the movie Heart Like a Wheel in 1984. Bo Bridges said that too with the actress Bonnie Bedelia. Yeah, remember that? Yeah. He's arguing that bar. You're trying to make that damn like golf now. He throws his shit and whatever, yeah. See, and that's what's happening. Everything's getting sanitized. And some things just has to be ugly. It's kind of like a Vegas hotel room after 3 days. It's supposed to be tore up, okay? I'm sorry. I've lived there twice. I was a limo driver. I've seen it all and videotaped half of it.
I had.
Yeah, go ahead. This
I
guy's
was just
funny.
waiting for a pause while you breathed a little bit. I had 2 questions. One, this February 22nd date, is that pretty firm? And I'm sure there's a bunch of us would love to be out there, even if we are 5 miles off.
Well, no, you can be about a mile and 2/10 away on 247. It's by /X, which is the south side of Barstow on 247.
Are you okay with?
Am I okay with what? You know what? This is my rule in dating. That is, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than for permission.
That's true.
Okay? Is that not true? I will only speak the truth. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So
you can wash your
/X.
Yes, sir.
247.
Yes.
Okay. On February 22nd.
Yes.
What time? Any other info you can share
Man,
with us?
whenever it's hot enough.
Whenever it's hot enough. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, for the people that know, I actually tried to launch in August. We tried 3 weekends in Amboy, which is where I launched back in 2018. I was actually in the rocket. I think it was the first weekend of August. It's 115 degrees. And it was my idea to do this, okay? We've been heating for 6 hours. And the heat was rising in the rocket through the propulsion system. It heat-soaked the whole aluminum cockpit. So when I got in, I told Waldo, it's hot in here. It's kind of hot, okay? I thought, I'm going to John Wayne it. I'm going to tough it down, okay? Yeah, right. So I get in the thing, and then I start burning my back on the seat. Well, the seat is shouldn't be hot, okay? And then my shoulder starts heating, and then I start feeling the seat belt or shoulder horns burning me. I said, and the canopy's not even on me yet. I said, I'll be dead in 5 minutes. And it's going to take another 10 minutes to get launched. Because when you're in this thing, you know, I never worked on a real NASA rocket, but this thing of mine, you get down in it, and your legs are up, okay? So now you're pulling yourself up and pushing down so you can even get in the seat. And then you got to buckle everything up. So it takes a lot just to get yourself in position. So, yeah, so anyway, and then after that, the next 2 weekends, we started having O-ring problems. Yeah. O-ring, yeah. And I've eliminated all the O-rings now. The system was inside the propulsion system. I now moved it outside. Now I've got the launch system behind the rocket now with the actuator, and the plunger goes in the backside instead of through the rocket. Yeah. So I designed my own launch system on the back of this semi to launch a steam rocket. Yeah.
My second question is, I wonder what your thoughts are you could share on Carroll Shelby. Surely you've run into him or have some thoughts on him.
You know, actually, I worked for Carroll for 2 weeks once in Las Vegas. 1990, I want to say 95, maybe. I never met Carroll. Never did. You know, I think it's a neat movie. You've seen it, Ford versus Ferrari? Great movie, isn't it? I have spoke with someone that met, what's that guy's name? Ken? Thank you. I cannot remember Miles. Someone knew him and says, man, Christian Bale nailed him. He said that's the way Ken was. So I think it's a great movie. I enjoyed watching the thing. I think, you know, if racing would go back to that again, but it never will. It never will. Because this is what I was told by somebody in Las Vegas years ago. This is why nothing happens in Las Vegas anymore. And I asked the guy, what's going on? There's no more Mavericks. Everybody's a bean counter. He said, well, because everyone's afraid of liability. Which, you know, that doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. But he says, remember this, Mike, there's no liability in saying no. No one's going to lose their jobs. So now instead of one guy making a decision, it takes 10 or 12. So if something goes bad or someone gets killed or something doesn't go off right, no one loses their job. So now this blame is spread over 12 people or 10 people instead of one guy. And that's a synopsis of America today. Or excuse me, bankrupt United States since 1933. A bankrupt federal corporation that named its enemies of the state.
Does anybody have any other?
Yeah, we're an enemy combatant, if you didn't know that. That's how they view us as an enemy combatant, and a resident alien. We've got a job to do, and then we're going to go home. Yeah, we're enemy combatant to this country. That's why you have no rights.
Yeah, sure.
You say two. This guy looks too serious to me.
Jeff Holmes, 1148. I'm a past president of the club, and this club honors all forms of adventure, no matter what it might be. We never ask why. We just honor the adventure. And while there may be some skeptics about your theories, you're the guy who puts your butt in that seat and straps in, baby. So God bless you.
Yeah, no, thank you. That's all I want people to realize. Yeah, thank you. Because no matter what it is, there's always going to be a difference in something. It's just like when we signed the deal for the TV deal with WOW Productions in Hollywood. I didn't want to sign with that company, but because they had the RuPaul show on. I have a big problem with that, and I told them that, the RuPaul show, okay? I don't like that kind of crap. And I told them that. But the thing is, no matter where you go, there's going to be a problem, okay? You know, it's like maybe the new CEO of Starbucks, I got a problem with her. You know, and her values and her religious views and her political views. So there's always going to be something, okay? Everything in our life, I look at as a pie. And there's always going to be pieces missing to the pie. So you got to decide which pieces you can live without. I don't care if it's a woman, a business deal, a partner, or friendship. There's always something missing. No one's the whole pie. Not even me.
That's some good wisdom right there. All right, let's have one more round of applause for Mad Mike Hughes.
Hey, let's show the trailer again. What the hell? Come on.
Well, I think we got a token of our appreciation, which I think you probably already have one of these, but might as well have
Yes,
two.
I do. It's hanging on my wall right next to, yeah, okay.
Well, now,
No,
now it'll have a buddy.
yeah, my brother used to be an Elvis impersonator. It's right next to his picture.
Perfect. I think that's good company
Yeah.
to have. So,
It's a true story.
expressing grateful appreciation to Mad Mike Hughes for the interesting, informative, and entertaining program on More Adventures with the Rocket Man, the evening of January 30th, 2020, thus furthering the objectives of promoting the exchange and dissemination of knowledge between those who have had adventures off the beaten path. So, Mike.
Wow. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you.